As usual, we're starting slow, and please find a comfortable position on the mat, lying down. On your hands, your arms can be close to the body, or you can place your hands on top of your belly, one on top of the belly, one on top of the chest, to just feel the breath. There is no right or wrong, especially in these first moments during the class. It's mainly to just settle, just come to the space. And we may be here with the body, but we need to come with the mind as well, without too much effort, but just maybe placing the attention on your breath. Just start to notice your breath without modifying it. And usually it's convenient to place the attention on the tips of your nostrils or on your belly. So choosing one of these 2 points of focus. To tune in into the class. Noticing if the breath is deep or shallow, or any sensations, any temperature around the tips of the nostrils, and dropping and rising of your intercostal muscles. And just staying here for a few moments while I'll talk you through the theme of the class today. And there's nothing really to do, but it's nice because it's a yoga class to try and reflect on some of the principles of yoga and maybe think of a theme, something to dedicate the class to. And because it's Mental Awareness Week this week, first of all, congratulating yourself and be grateful and be happy that you found the time to join, especially such an activity that can be beneficial for your mental health. For those of you who just joined, we are lying down. I was just saying that this week is Mental Health Awareness Week. And so I'd like you to think this week of what can you do to prioritize yourself and prioritize your mental health. And this now is a great way to start focusing on the breath. And we'll do a few breathing exercises. Keep active. Maybe there are other things you can do during this week or going forward as well. Maybe speaking with a friend if something is not, some thoughts are bothering you, or just spend time with nature. Just inviting that theme into the class today. Prioritize yourself. What can you do to make this class even better for you? Starting with the yoga class, what can you do to be better mentally as well? Maybe if you have an injury. um, just taking care, just being careful, and do what you need to do for your body. Maybe taking a bit slower if you need to pause, or the opposite, challenging yourself. And with that in mind, if you don't have your hands on the belly and the chest yet, please place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. And we're gonna do a breathing technique that's very simple. I'll just count for you, and I'll count for 4 as we inhale. And then we stop for 4, we hold the breath. Then we exhale for 4, and we hold the breath for 4. We sometimes call it box breathing, or samavriti, equal ratio breath. And we'll first start with a normal deep breath. When you're ready, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then I'll start counting through the nose, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. One more round. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe normally. And slowly release the hands and the arms alongside your body. And when you're ready, opening the eyes. And start to hug your knees in close to the chest. Taking any movements, maybe drawing circles with your palms on your knees. One direction and then the other one. And then 2 options from here. I'll give you a lot of options today. Option 1, well, as usual. Option 1, rock and roll. Option 2, until you get enough momentum to come up. Option 2, just going a safer, like a calmer way, let's say. So dropping the knees to one side and then coming to a seat. Tabletop when you're ready. Stacking the wrists on the same line as the shoulders, and the knees and the hips on the same line. And then from here, drawing circles, moving with the torso, one direction and the other one. And then pointing the fingers towards the long edges of the mat and moving from side to side with the torso. We're just warming up the wrists. And then fingers pointing towards the knees, tucking the toes, and move the sitting bones towards the heels and forward. And you can allow the fingers and the palms to be off the mat if you want to stretch those as well. And then place the hands as they were before. So fingers pointing towards, forward. And drop the belly, looking up, opening the chest, cow pose. And round the spine for cat pose. As you inhale, drop and looking up. As you exhale, look down. 2 more like this. Inhale to open, squeezing a pencil in between your shoulders. Exhale, round the spine a lot, looking down. 1 more. And then coming to neutral spine, tucking the toes if you haven't already. And hover the knees off the mat and round the spine like in cat pose. 1 big breath here. And as you exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet. And moving as you need to. And then finding stillness in your down dog. Push your belly towards the thighs. And send the shoulders down towards your low back. Relax the shoulders. Relax the head and the neck. Bend your knees a bit, not too much. And just staying in downward dog, but bending the knees to send the hips even higher. Yes, very nice adjustment here. And then from here, bend your knees a lot this time and look at your hands, jump or float or walk to the top of your space with your feet close to the hands. Separate the feet, hip width distance apart, and grab opposite elbows. Sway from side to side. I don't know which playlist I put today. And move the weight forwards towards your toes. Sue, very nice. You can bend your knees. Release the grasp of the hands now. Bend your knees a lot. Rise up one vertebra at a time. The head comes last. And from here, roll your shoulders down and back a few times. And heel toe your feet together. Close your eyes for a moment and see where your weight is, if it's more on one foot or the other one. And maybe try to bring it in the middle. Engage your glutes, send your tailbone down towards the ground, send the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a deep breath in as you open the eyes and open the arms out and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to prayer to your chest. 1 more like this. Inhale, opening, looking up. Hands to prayer to your chest as you exhale, and this time folding over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can stay on the shins or down to the ground. The back is flat. As you exhale, plant your palms, step one foot and then the other one to high plank. And stay here for a moment. Think of cat pose, so rounding the spine, pushing the floor away. Very nice. And then knees down, chest and chin down, slide into cobra pose, untucking the toes. And lift a bit and hover the palms off the ground. Very nice. And squeeze the pencil in between. And from here, through child's pose, going back to downward facing dog. 1 breath in down dog. Inhale deeply. And deep exhale. And next breath, bend your knees a lot, heels high. Look at the top of your space, jump or float or walk to the top of the mat. And bend your knees, rising all the way up to the ground. Heel toe your feet together. 1 more round of sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to prayer to your chest, folding over your legs, Uttanasana. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold, plant your palm, step the other foot that you didn't start with before, if you remember, high plank or jump, that's fine as well. High plank, strong in your high plank. The eyes of the elbows are facing to one another, looking forward. Knees down, chest and chin down. Slide into cobra. Maybe a higher cobra this time. Maybe placing the hands on the ground and reaching a bit more up. But still squeezing an imaginary pencil in between your shoulder blades. And then folding, pushing yourself towards child's pose, and then tuck the toes, come into downward facing dog. Inhale where you are, and exhale where you are. Be pushing the shoulders down towards your low back. Relax the neck, shake your head yes and no. And next breath, bend your knees a lot, look forward, travel to the top of your space. Very nice. And bend your knees, rising all the way up to standing. And one more time with one modification, opening the arms out and up, and exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. The neck is a continuation of the spine, so very nice. And then folding over your legs, jump or float high plank. This time, option to do like we did before, so with the knees down, or otherwise bending the elbows very close to the body, going halfway, very nice, and then opening, sliding to the top of your feet, opening your chest at down, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog, very nice with the knees off the mat. And breathing here. One breath, one more breath in down dog, inhale deeply, and deep exhale. And then heels high, bend your knees a lot, travel to the top of your space. And separating the feet equidistance apart, this time interlacing the fingers behind your back and straightening the arms, relax the neck. And move the weight a bit more towards your toes, relax the neck. Sending the knuckles towards the ceiling. And release the hands, release the grasp, the hands down. Bend your knees a lot, rise up. And we're gonna go to chair pose in a moment. You're welcome to have the knees together or the feet separated. If you have low back issues, sometimes that's suggested to separate. So whichever way you prefer. And sinking down, inhaling, and then sinking down with your hips towards the ground, sending the triceps close to the ears and the tailbone down. One breath here, sending the weight towards the heels, so the toes may be able to be off the mat, and hands together at your chest. Sink a bit deeper, and exhale, folding over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. And as you exhale, fold, plant your palms, and jump to high plank. Lower to low plank, bending the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Next, inhale, right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, your right knee, and stack your hips. So open and send the knee towards the ceiling. When you do that, keep the weight on both hands. And then send the right foot in between the hands for low lunge. Rising up and open your arms in a cactus shape. If you want, you can tuck your back toes. And then from here, frame the foot, step it back. If you want, you skip, and we're gonna meet in downward facing dog. Otherwise, high plank to low plank. And you know the sequence, upward facing dog, and exhaling down dog. It's playing a weird playlist today, but yeah. And one breath in down dog, inhale. And next, exhaling out. And next, inhale, left leg up to the sky. And open your hips. So stack the hips and the knee up. Very nice. And from here, step it through, low lunge. Maybe tucking the toes, maybe not, for balance. And open your arms in a cactus shape. Squeezing the imaginary pencil in between the shoulders and frame the foot. Step it back. High plank to low plank if you'd like, or skip it and I'm gonna meet you in down dog. Deep inhale here in down dog and deep exhale. And then when you're ready, coming to the top of your space, coming back to your chair pose. So first reaching the top of the mat and then sinking lower in chair pose, Utkatasana. One breath here. And then hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale here. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold, and jump back to high plank. Lower to low plank. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee and open the hips. And from here, knee to opposite elbow. Right knee to left elbow. Yes. And then to the other one. And coming back up, three-leg dog. Knee towards the nose, sweep it through. This time, high crescent lunge. So the back knee is off the mat, rising up. Opening your arms in a cactus shape. And then frame the foot, step it back. High plank to low plank. Or cobra if you prefer. And rising to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. And bend the knee, open the hips. Very nice. Send the knee to the opposite elbow. And then send it across to the same side elbow. And rising up, three-leg dog. And from here, knee to nose. And then sweep it through. Step the foot in between the hands, rising up, high crescent lunge. Opening the chest as you look up. And then frame the foot, step back to high plank. Really strong in high plank, lowering down to halfway, opening the chest, and knees off the mat in high. And then downward facing dog. One more breath. And then we're going to child's pose. So one round, inhale and exhale. And then when you're done, sending the knees down and opening the knees as much as is comfortable. And then sending the arms forward. Feeling like two opposite forces at the same time as somebody is pulling your fingers forward. And at the same time, sending the sitting bones close to the heels. Breathing deeply, inhale. And exhale out. And then slowly coming back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, sending the heels high, Bend the knees and jump with the feet outside the hands to Malasana. And if you, however you jumped, you can always adjust your position. And here, staying long with the spine and placing the hands in prayer if that's comfortable. If you are very comfortable, you can lift yourself a bit more up. If you're not at all comfortable, you can use a block and sit on the block. We all have different bodies. One breath here and exhale out. And then if you have the block, remove it and slowly come back to high plank. And we're gonna come down to the ground, counting to 5. So bending the elbow and slowly your count, lowering down to the ground. Untucking the toes. And at the next inhale, we're gonna rise up to Cobra pose. So when you're ready, lifting up just a little bit with the squeezing the elbows close to the body, looking up, and then exhale down. The next time, we're gonna extend the arms close to the body, and in a similar way, reach up, but this time also lifting the legs for locust pose. Looking up and thinking of having the belly button off the mat to help you with the movement. Lowering down, one cheek on the floor. And then when you're ready, we're gonna repeat it one more time. Option this time to interlace the fingers behind your back. And then lowering down. And when you're ready, bending the elbows, place the palms close to your chest and come back to through child's pose to downward facing dog. And one breath here. And then we're gonna jump again to Malasana, the squat pose. Breathing deeply and exhale out. When you're ready, look forward, jump to Malasana. And 2 options here. You can stay in Malasana and work on twists. So opening the arms, placing one hand down on the ground, and then on the other side. If you want to play with balance and crow pose, you can place the hands forward, look forward, not at your hands, but a bit more forward, and placing the knees on your armpits, and detach one foot and then the other one. Very nice balance here. And when you're ready, coming back to Malasana. Very good effort. Placing your hands in prayer and closing your eyes. Coming back to your intention to do you, to do what feels, what you need in this moment, what feels better. Breathing and breathing out. And then opening the eyes, placing the hands on the ground and jump back to high plank pose. Coming down, counting to 5, all the way down to the ground. One more back bending when you're ready. So we're gonna place the arms alongside the body, and this time we're gonna go to boat pose. So like we did before, opening the eyes and reaching back, but this time bending the knees and reaching for your ankles, so the outside of your ankles, and looking up. If it's painful or on the low back, Go a bit more down, shouldn't be too painful. And then lowering down to the ground. One breath here. And then when you're ready, push yourself back through child's pose to downward facing dog. Let's do one back bend, sorry, I can't speak today. Let's walk with the hands close to the feet. So the hands towards the feet. And from here, just doing a forward fold. That's what I wanted to say. Just to counteract the action, the back bending that we just did. So option to stay here where you are, or otherwise, if you can basically hug the back of your calves and just round the spine as much as you need to. And you can bend the knees as well. You can shake your head yes and no. And these positions are also great to as a way to turn within, as a metaphor of like closing a bit to what you need rather than always being open to maybe others. And then slowly come back to downward facing dog. So walking your hands. One breath in downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Next, inhale. Bend your knees a lot. Look forward and travel to the top of your space. And then rise up towards Tadasana, mountain pose. And take any movements that you need to do. We're going to grab the blocks to do a flow with the blocks. That we will start in chair pose. So we will place the blocks separated more or less one block away from each other, and so that you can place your feet on top of the blocks. And we're gonna, when you're there, move to chair pose. So sink the hips lower and reaching the arms up to the sky. Triceps are close to the ears. Send your tailbone down, the weight towards the heels. And then exhale, hands to prayer to your chest. Still in chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. It may feel a bit different because we have these extra centimeters, which I like to have in general. And then grab the elbows, opposite elbows, and sway from side to side. Shake your head. And then from here, release the grasp of the hands. Bend your knees a lot. Rise up. So that we can do a safe movement to come out of the block. So step back, step down off the block. And then grabbing the blocks and coming to high plank pose with the blocks. So with the fingers on the blocks and coming to high plank. And from here, dropping the knees down to tabletop. When you're ready, send one foot in between the blocks, the right one, let's say. So we're going to low lunge. It's a low lunge flow, but with the blocks. And we are going to transition to half split. So tucking the back toes, and you can move the blocks with you. Not that split, half split, but that's also nice if you want to do it. That's standing split. So half split like this. So one leg is bent and the other one is. Very nice. And then moving the blocks down as you come back to low lunge. Very nice. So basically just grabbing the blocks like this. So could be more convenient from the top. And we're gonna do this transition a few more times. And then staying in half split for a moment here. You can use the blocks to help you have a long spine so that you can keep the long spine as you fold down. If you wish to fold a bit more down, you can place the blocks on the other height or remove the blocks entirely. And then grabbing the blocks one more time to frame the foot, coming back to low lunge. And from here, grabbing the blocks and rising up with the arms, sending the tailbone down, sitting bones in correspondence with the knee, shoulders down, and then frame the foot, push the floor away, and downward facing dog. And these blocks may help us come a bit more closer, with the belly a bit more closer to the thighs. So just making sure that you always send the shoulders down away from the ears. You relax the neck. And then when you're ready, come back to, with the knees down on the ground to tabletop. And then send the left foot in between. Half split movements. So grabbing the blocks, if you like, and moving to bend and extend the left leg this time. Once you've done a few of those, staying there in half split for a moment, maybe once you got the position and the balance, you can remove the blocks and place the hands down if you want to fold a bit deeper, or if not, just staying where you are, breathing wherever you are. Inhale, deep exhale. And then grabbing the blocks again and framing the foot. Step back to high plank with the hands on the blocks. And send the hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. And one more time, knees down on the ground. Step your right foot in between. I forgot one piece. Well, sorry. Left leg here, and I think we did that before, right? Well, and coming back down. And with the right leg now in between, this time coming back to, like we did before, to half split. An option to stay here, or if you'd like, you can still stay with the blocks on the maximum height and slide the, how to say, the heel forward, the heel of your right foot forward. And then send the back knee off the mat. So balancing on the blocks. And this may be enough, or if you practice and you don't have injuries, you can go a bit more down. But it's going to be very effective to, especially with socks, actually, to just do this movement. So to send back and forward the heel. The heel of your front foot. And I recommend with socks because they slide a bit better. But for now, slowly coming back to low lunge and rising up with the arms. And then frame the foot. Place the blocks down so that you can place the hands on top. High plank pose and downward facing dog. I'm coming to the other side when you're ready. Place the left foot in between and coming back to the drills if you like. Or if you want, you can slide the foot forward and untuck the back knee and work on your splits. One side is much better for me. If it's the height of the block is high, when you go down, you can balance. But it's gonna take time, and again, these drills may help a lot. And so this is a good preparation anyway. It doesn't matter if you went down all the way. It's good to stretch. And then place the foot in low lunge, rising up with the arms, shoulders down, and then frame the foot with the blocks. Place the hands on top. Step back to high plank and downward facing dog. Deep inhale, inhale where you are, and exhale, staying there where you are. When you're ready, bend your knees a lot, look forward and travel towards the blocks. Rise up comfortably and then adjust the position of the blocks. We're coming back to chair pose. So if you need to adjust them, do so, and then step on the blocks to balance one more time in chair pose. Inhale deeply and exhale, hands to prayer to your chest. One more inhale and exhale, folding over your legs. Next, inhale, bend your knees a lot, rise up to Tadasana, standing pose, and then step down off the blocks. From here, like we did before, grab the blocks, high plank pose, and downward facing dog, but a few variations now. So we're not going to split anymore, but we are sending the right leg up to the sky, 3-leg dog on blocks. And then bend the knee, send it forward, step the foot in between the blocks for high crescent lunge. So the back knee is off the mat. This time rising up with the blocks to high crescent lunge. The back knee can be bent. Inhale deeply where you are. As you exhale, warrior 2 with the blocks. Shoulders down and bend the right knee forward. Very nice. Balancing here. And when you're ready, send the weight forward. We're going to half moon. So send the weight forward and do a small step with the back foot. Place the block down, the right block down, and send the left leg up parallel to the floor. Stack the shoulders. If you want, you can release the grasp of the hands from the block, from the block that was on the floor. Very nice. And then slowly come back to warrior 2. We're gonna do it on the other side. So move the feet parallel to and then to the other side. And so moving the weight to the left foot now and coming to half moon. Finding the balance first with the knee bent, and then once you found the balance, you can straighten the leg. It's very nice to use the block at the beginning with your fingers on the block, and then once you found the balance, you can remove the grasp. Very nice. Bend the front leg and step back to warrior 2. Feet parallel to the short edges of the mat, hands on the hips, inhale, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. One breath here. Maybe reaching back with your fingers towards the edge of the mat. And then placing the hands forward where they were. And then bend your knees a lot, coming up to goddess pose. So bend your knees and your elbows as well. Opening up to star pose, so lengthening everything up, looking up, back bending a bit if you'd like. And when you're ready, grab the block with your left hand, the one on the back. Yeah, and come back to where we started, to the top of the mat. We're gonna do it on the other side when you're ready. Placing the blocks for your chair pose, Utkatasana, and slowly coming down, hands to prayer to your chest. Inhale, and deep exhale to fold. Bend your knees as you rise up towards the ceiling, Tadasana, standing, and then coming off the blocks and grabbing them to high plank. And then sending the hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky, three-leg dog. And send it through high crescent lunge, grabbing the blocks up with you. Shoulders down, and then opening warrior two. Stack the shoulders, send the shoulders and the arms on the same height. And then move forward with the weight to the left hand, coming to half moon. Finding your balance, flexing the top foot, thinking of opening the hips towards, yeah, very nice, towards this side of the room where you're facing, and then bend the standing leg, come back to warrior two with one block in the hand. And then we're going to the other side. So half moon on the other side, prepping here. First, bending the knee, shifting the weight forward, making a little step, then placing the block down in correspondence with the pinky toe of the right foot. Grabbing the block with the fingers, and then maybe allowing the fingers to be off the block. And balancing and breathing and slowly coming back to warrior two. Very nice. Feet parallel to the short edges of the mat, hands on the hips, looking up like we did before, preparing to fold down for wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. And option to do like you did before, or if you're practicing as stands at home, make sure you're safe and have fun. And then when you're ready, coming off inversions and coming to goddess pose. Deep squat. And then big star pose, opening the arms and the legs, looking up. And then if you like to bring the block with you, otherwise leave it. We are going to sit down when you're ready, whichever direction. Sitting down and finding a chest opening bridge pose. And if you want to use blocks, you can use them to You can use them in between the thighs, or otherwise without the blocks as well, making sure your hands are close to the heels. So bring the heels closer if you need to, like closer to the hands, yes, but separated from each other. And then from here, send the hips up on the same line of the knees. And squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. And option to interlace the fingers on the mat. Going on the tippy toes, so send the heels off the mat. And then leaving the hips at the same height. Now send the heels down on the floor. So the hips remain high, the glutes are squeezed. And then from here, release the grasp of the hands, slowly going down with the spine on the ground. Hug your knees close to the chest. We'll do it one more time. So when you're ready, it's always an option. You can always skip any pose you'd like to skip. If you're with me, coming back to bridge pose. And an option to do like we did before, or otherwise grabbing the external edges of the mat. Or option to bend the elbows and place the hands close to the ears. And then come to the crown of the head on the ground. And come to wheel pose. Only if this is okay with your body today. Maybe try and go back is also an option, it's also fine. And if you are in bridge pose, perhaps playing with the legs, straightening one leg up with the heels high of the other. Yeah, and then the other one, other side. And then coming down with all the spine on the ground once you've done both sides. Hugging the knees towards the chest. And making a big ball, reaching forward with the forehead close to the knees. And then release, opening the legs and the arms. Coming back to your breath. And also just checking if there's anything else you'd like to do. Maybe some more stretching, some other poses. You're welcome to come there. It might be quite nice to do a spinal twist or another inversion. I see some of you going to shoulder stand, some of you doing spinal twists, all good options. Some of you doing happy baby. It's very nice to do exactly what you're doing, tuning into your intuition, into what you need to do right now, not what others are doing, just what you want to do. Find that space for you. Find the right balance between challenge, rest, inspiration and relaxation. And then once you've done what you need to do, finding your Shavasana position, your relaxation pose. Taking a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and sighing out. And just letting go. Letting go of whatever happened during the class. Just allowing yourself to really relax. Starting to deepen your breath when you're ready. And when you're ready, bring in small movements to your fingers, your toes. Extending your arms overhead, stretching or yawning. Bringing the knees towards the chest and roll onto your favorite side. Maybe using one arm as a pillow. Just staying here for a few moments in a fetal pose. And then slowly using the top arm to push yourself up to a seat, keeping your eyes closed. Bringing the hands in prayer close to the chest. And just coming back for a moment to your intention for this week. Just bringing back that question, what can I do to prioritize my mental health? Let this be your question this week, your intention. You don't need to solve it now. But let this be the invitation for the next following days to find something that will help you prioritize yourself and your mind so that you can also be better with others. Closing with a breath, inhaling deeply. And exhale out, opening the eyes, bowing forward to thank each and every one of you for sharing the energy, the class, the movements, the challenge, the smiles, the all the things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And see you next time. Thank you.